The sun in Roblox didn't just shine. It glitched beautifully, like a golden coin spinning in the sky. And standing on the edge of a rickety wooden dock was a player named Zane, gripping his fishing rod like it was the final boss of all sticks. "All right," he muttered. "Today, I fish it!" The water below him shimmered like it was hiding secrets. Not normal fish secrets. We're talking legendary, possibly screams back when you catch it kind of secrets. Zane cast his line. Plunk! The bobber landed with a satisfying splash. Silence followed. The kind of silence that feels like the game is watching you instead of the other way around. Then, T-U-G. Oh, snap! Zane yanked the rod. The screen shook. The water exploded upward like a fountain of chaos. Whatever was on the line wasn't just a fish. It was angry. It was big. It was definitely not in the tutorial. A shadow swirled beneath the surface. Come on, come on. Don't you dare be a boot. The line stretched. The rod bent like it was about to file a complaint. Zane mashed the controls, sweat forming on his blocky forehead. Then, whoosh! Out of the water flew a glowing neon blue fish with fins that flickered like electricity. No way! A volt fin fish? The game chimed. Rare catch! Zane jumped so hard his avatar nearly fell off the dock. But the celebration didn't last long. Behind him, footsteps. Slow, crunchy, suspicious. Zane turned. Standing there was another player. Tall, silent, wearing a fisherman hat that looked too detailed, like it had seen things. "You caught one," the player said. Zane nodded. "Yeah, first try." The stranger tilted their head. "Then you've started it." Started what? The water behind them began to ripple. Not normal ripples. Big ones. Dock-shaking ones. Zane slowly turned back. The entire lake was moving. Fish, hundreds of them, began circling beneath the surface like a living storm. Glowing eyes, flashing fins. Something massive swam deeper below them, so large it blocked out the light. The stranger stepped back. Legendary spawns don't come alone. Wait, what? Boom. A gigantic fish burst from the water, easily 5 times the size of the dock. Its scales shimmered like molten gold, and its eyes locked directly onto Zane. A boss fish. No, the boss fish. Zane grinned. This is it. This is why I logged in. He tightened his grip on the rod. Let's fish it! He cast again. The line flew through the air like a challenge. The boss fish dove. The screen shook. The battle began. Buttons flashed. The rod screamed. The water roared like an ocean crammed into a puddle. Zane dodged, pulled, timed every move like his entire Roblox career depended on it. Come on, you overgrown goldfish! The tension bar hit red. The line almost snapped. The stranger watched silently. Then, Zane hit the perfect move. Critical reel. The fish launched into the air one final time, and with a flash of blinding light, caught. The game exploded in sound and color. Legendary catch unlocked. Zane stood there, breathing hard, staring at his screen. Inventory. 1 times golden leviathan fish. I think I just broke the game. The stranger finally smiled. No, they said. You just unlocked the real one. The lake went silent again. Too silent. Zane looked down at his fishing rod. It had changed. New glow. New power. New hunger. From somewhere deep beneath the water, something even bigger stirred. Zane grinned again. All right, he said. Round 2. The lake didn't calm down. It held its breath. Zane stood on the dock, his upgraded fishing rod humming softly in his hands like it had its own heartbeat. Not a normal upgrade either. This thing felt alive, like it was waiting for something. Or someone. Behind him, the mysterious fishermen folded their arms. "You should leave." Zane didn't even turn around. "Yeah, I'm definitely not doing that." The water below went pitch dark. Not shadow dark. Not night dark. Something is blocking the entire bottom of the lake dark. Zane swallowed. Okay, that's new. A whisper echoed across the water. Not through the speakers. Not through the game. Through him. "Return." "What? You took..." Zane blinked. "Nope. Nope. I'm keeping the giant golden fish. Respectfully." The rod pulsed. His inventory flickered. Golden Leviathan fish. Arrow question mark. Question mark. Question mark. Corrupted Leviathan. Question mark. Question mark. Question mark. Oh. The lake erupted. Not with a splash this time, with a tear. The water split open like a giant zipper, revealing something beneath it that wasn't supposed to be seen. A swirling abyss. Glitching code, floating fragments of fish, hooks, and broken boats spinning slowly like space debris. And rising from it. A shape. Huge. Ancient. Its body wasn't just made of scales. It was made of every fish ever caught in the game, fused together into one writhing, shifting titan. Eyes opened across its body, all staring at Zane. The fisherman backed away fast this time. "That's the core." "The core of what?" "Of everything you've been catching." Zane looked down at his rod. It tightened in his grip. The line shot out on its own. "Wait! I didn't even cast." Too late. The hook flew straight into the abyss creature. Everything froze. For one split second. Then, battle initiated. The Abyssal Core. The sky turned purple. The dock cracked beneath Zane's feet. The fishing UI went completely insane. Bars twisting. Buttons appearing in patterns that made no sense. This wasn't a fishing minigame anymore. This was a boss fight, pretending to be fishing. "Are you serious?" Zane yelled, laughing like a man who had fully accepted chaos. The core pulled. Hard. Zane slid forward, boots scraping across the dock. "No, no, no, no!" The rod screamed. Line integrity. 12%. "Come on! Hold together!" The fisherman shouted from behind. "You can't outpull it! You have to balance it!" "Balance what? My sanity!" The core shifted forms. 1 second it was a whale. Next second a swarm. Next second, the golden Leviathan itself. Zane's eyes lit up. "Oh, I see you." He adjusted his timing. Instead of yanking hard, he started moving with it. Letting the tension breathe. Pushing when it pulled. Pulling when it hesitated. The chaos started to make sense. The bar stabilized. The core roared. Zane grinned. "You're not just a fish. You're the whole lake." The rod glowed brighter. A new prompt appeared. "Sync with the catch." Oh, this is gonna be crazy. Zane hit the input. The world slowed. For a moment, he wasn't on the dock anymore. He was in the water. Swimming through currents of glowing fish, memories of every catch, every player, every moment this game had ever seen. And at the center, the core. Not angry, just overwhelmed. Zane reached out. "I'm not here to take everything," he said quietly. "Just one story at a time." The core paused. The chaos slowed. The fishing line stopped shaking. Then, the entire lake surged upward one last time. Zane snapped back to the dock. The rod locked into place. Final reel. He pulled. Everything went white. Caught. Silence. Then, mythical entity tamed. New mode unlocked, abyss fishing. Zane stood there, breathing hard again. The lake returned to normal, peaceful, like nothing had happened. The fisherman walked up beside him. You didn't defeat it! Zane smirked. Nah. He opened his inventory. 1x Abyssal Core, stable form. I made a deal. The fisherman nodded slowly. That's harder. Zane looked back out at the water. It shimmered again. But now, it shimmered deeper. He lifted his rod. All right, he said, eyes locked on the horizon. Let's see what's hiding even further down.